Hello, good evening, and a very warm welcome to Rangers Radio.
Well, good evening, welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Oxshire, on the show this evening is the gaffer of Rangers Radio, GB, and the king, Bridgeman. Evening, boys.
I can't bear the Joker. Good evening, Oxshire, and good evening, Bridgeman. Bridgeman, I'm sorry, mate, I'm going to steal one of your sayings. Two more sleeps.
Two more sleeps, pal. That's a good.
I don't know, mate. It's a 5:30 kick-off. Bridgeman.
I love it, by the way. Just love it. Can I just say good evening to yourself, Oxshire, and of course, GB. And you'll need to carry me through it tonight, GB, that's for sure. And of course, the techie boys in the background. And can I just say to all the Rangers fans that are listening in all over the world, this good evening, and welcome to Rangers Radio.
How are you, GB?
Aye, mate, away from football, life's good. In the world of Rangers, it's another roller coaster. It continues, Ox, but optimistic, mate. I've got to admit, after the weekend, I'm more optimistic again.
Are you on the Big Dipper or are you on the teacups, GB? What are you on?
I'm on the what's the one that the two roller coasters race each other? What's that?
The Grand National.
The Grand National, aye. But my Big Dipper, I'll take that as well.
I bet you were a Walsers man, Bridge.
No, actually, it wasn't. I loved it. I like the Grand National. I like that. Not the Big Dipper, but the Grand National, you know.
Right, okay, I get your point, GB. As a roller coaster, if you believe everything that's portrayed in the media. Yeah. Bridgeman, how are you, mate?
I'm cool, pal. Thanks very much. And I'm looking forward to the season starting.
Ibrox.
Well, yes, of course. It's really. I said the season starting. I'm looking forward to it. Rangers season at Ibrox starting.
Yes.
We need to get back in there. And as quickly as possible. Obviously, the Copeland Beer's dead for probably another couple of weeks yet. But when it comes back, I'm in.
Mm-hmm. Well, things are getting there rapidly, and hopefully, contrary to what was in the media today, things should be all right for the next home game, which is a week on Sunday. Hibs at home. Right, so the next league game. So, GB, listen, mate, we won 1-0, no a great game. Just quickly, I know it was a few days ago, get your thoughts and what you thought of some of the new players, mate.
Ox, I mean, there's still the frailties there I've seen during the game, probably the second half more so. That the tactics, Ox, we've said that between ourselves a few times that the tactics they leave us wide open at times. It does give, like say, these wee teams a chance to get back into a game when it's sitting kind of on that pedestal with 1-0. But as our team defensively, you can't really say too much wrong with them because Big John Suter gets the man of the match, doesn't he? And then I think Lawrence had probably one of his best games that I've seen him in a while. And then the new signings kind of shined as well. Yefty, Young Barn, and Egeman up front as well, showing a bit of promise there as well. And Barami, that kind of moment, Ox, in the game where I think it was Yefty, Barami, and Egeman, I think it was it, with the kind of 1-2-3, the kind of flick on bit. That bit of play was brilliant in the second half. So for me, that's all I wanted to see, Ox. I wanted to see a bit of progression, what we're hoping to see maybe week in, week out. We like to see some of the passages play, but still, like I say, frailties, Ox. That's what I worry. It's all right, I think, when we've got that much possession, but when we're playing a team is technically good as well, then it'll be interesting to see how the tactics hold up, mate.
Mm-hmm. Right, well, I've stated my views on here about the shape, mate. But listen, every manager lives and dies by their decisions, Bridge, at any level of football.
Absolutely, bud. Absolutely. And he's got to make it. He's got to be happy to see it and make sure what he sees is actually working the way he saw it in his mind. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes they get very disappointed when the players just go the way the shape they want to play in. But no, the manager, I'm sure he'll get it through to them how they're going to play. I'm very pleased about the last game we had there. Very, very pleased. Thought we did very well against that mob. And as I said at the time, it's 1 going on 5. That's for me.
Okay. Right, we touched on it briefly last night, mate. What people's teams would be, and listen, we'll let you pick the team, between you, and I'm not asking you what you think Clement's team will be. I'm asking you what the GB Bridgeman team will be. The sort of Morecambe and Wise team, you know what I mean?
Morecambe and Wise. I like that one.
This will be interesting then.
Right. And I'll say it is the League Cup at home at Ibrox, right? So you might look at it differently, or you might want to play your strongest team. What do you stand on that, Bridge? As a guy of a certain vintage who came to football when there was no substitutes, am I right when I say that, Bridge?
Correct, yes, correct.
Yes. And now you can put on 5.
Heavenly, isn't it? It's heavenly, particularly for the coaches, the managers and the coaches, to get extra men in there. They can start to create whatever they want, any moves they want, and we'll take him off and we'll put him on, and all that nonsense, It's really good for them. As a player, nah. And I want 90 minutes. When I was a player, I wanted to play 90 minutes. And that suited me well. There's a bit of satisfaction about that.
Bridge, and you were up against a fast player, then with the last half an hour, they bring on an even faster player because he can bring that.
Aye. Well, yeah, these things happen. Obviously, players with pace have always been sort of greatly accepted within football teams. And we went through an era where a lot of teams had really good, fast, tricky players, particularly out in the wing. And you had some of the guys through the midfield were quite quick over the 20 yards. You need that wee bit of pace over 20 yards to either go and pick up or run with the ball. And a lot of teams had that. So the way we see football, or we saw football, is that's the way I saw it. You could get somebody pacey coming out of defence and release the ball properly, and somebody pick up from the midfield and run with the ball, that kind of thing. Push it out to the wide, and it's 2 wide men that are fast as lightning, and your fullbacks were always quick. You always had quick fullbacks. That's the way, in my mind, it was.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to see that again.
I think the game's changed dramatically, with the athleticism, but what you can't judge is how good certain players would be in eras. But I know that the greats and the top players, I think they could play in any era, they would shine, because passing the ball and moving and reading the game is no really changed, Bridge. It's maybe the pace of the game, the boots, the ball, the pitches, at the top level, Bridge. Yeah, it's changed dramatically. Yeah,
absolutely, pal, absolutely. And of course, if you look around the league, even up in Scotland, there, to all intents and purposes, the same teams are playing in full. How many? 50 teams in the league, the overall league. They're the same teams that were there when we were younger, just different now. There some of them stuck in the 3rd division, and they're never going to get out it. Some of them still playing in non-league, But they're to all intents the same, not the same clubs, because the club is completely different, but the same teams as such as we knew it. That's the way I see it anyway. You look at St Johnstone and clubs like that, Queen's Park even, and they've been forever,
Mm-hmm.
And they're still there.
The game's changed, right? We digress, GB. We digress, right?
Sorry about that.
No, that's all right. It happens, isn't it? It's live, isn't it, GB? It's live. We don't know where we're going to go.
You go down a rabbit hole, Ox, and you're right. Like, this game has changed, but like you said about the great players, Ox. I mean, half of the great players were running about with a bevy in them. You mean, imagine they had the nutrition and everything that they've got today. What kind of players they would be? And Tappy, what the talent was already there.
Funny you should say that, mate. I get that with the drink. I didn't know Fox drank till I met him sober one day.
Did you catch him in the video store?
It was so different. It was so different. Anyway, right, okay. So I'm asking you between these to pick your team and your rationale. You know, you might want to, I don't know, you might want to play the boy Fraser. You might know, you might see it differently. You might want to play your strongest team. So what are you thinking for Thursday? Sunday, GB?
Sunday, Ox, strongest team for me. We badly need to get relationships built up in this team and understanding. So strongest team for me on the park, Ox.
All right. And what's your rationale, Bridge?
Same, exact same. Strongest team, and actually our strongest team was probably the last team that came out of the weekend there and played particularly ones in the first half. That's probably our strongest team and actually best team. And
would Dowell be in your strongest team?
Dowell is, yeah, they would be. I don't have any problem with a lot of these players. A lot of these players, they're just not getting the amount of games that they require. That might be because they're not in any great condition to play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games in a row. They just can't do it. They might only be allowed to play up to an hour. And sometimes you think, oh, no bother playing them. But really, I think Dowell and you know, see the likes of young Barron that's come in. I mean, he's an example to anybody that wants to follow the football and play football. He's just a wee industry all on his own. So these are the kind of players I would want in the team. The team that we started off with the other day, that would be my strongest team for me.
Wow, what a controversy that I would have Dowell on my team. GB.
No, but do you know, Oxy, the boys, he's got technical ability. I've seen technical ability in these highlights for when he was at Norwich. I've not really seen too much of that in his Rangers shirt, but like I says, he's a squad player, isn't he, Ox, for me? He's at best. But I think there's boys now with the signings we've made, Bridge, just with the new guy, Brammy and Cherney and Cortez back in the team. I think they'll well get in front of him, and they are the future. Unfortunately, Dowell is on the right age.
I can't agree with you more. For me, if Dowell gets his game up, he's a lovely player, absolutely lovely player. But you know, I find it difficult to even think about picking a team different from what the manager puts on. I just want to back the manager all the way. For me, whatever the manager puts in the park, it should be strongest team. I think that's the thought in my mind. It's got to be our strongest team whenever we play. But you know, that's just me. I'm sorry, that's the way I am. I want to see the strongest team on the pitch every time.
Listen, I don't think you're alone in that thinking, Bridge, because I think the injuries, and we pick up the odd one, don't we? And the way our players get booked sometimes for nothing. We're going to have enough rotation naturally as the season goes on, if that's fair, GB.
Aye, we should do. And Bridge, just to help your point with Dowell, a fit Dowell, I think, gets a shirt before McCausland. Might be a bit controversial, that, but I would give the shirt to Dowell before McCausland. Right,
I'll go the other way. I would rather have McCausland playing in that position than Dowell. I just don't see it, mate. I don't see it. A YouTube video for Norwich, for me, we've signed him. He's not really played a lot of football for them. We took a punt on him. It's now a season, 15-month moving towards, and he's not played for 6 months. And Bridges' point might be right. He's not had enough games to get his rhythm. I get that, but for me, nah, it's no. It's a no. But anyway, the listeners might see it different, GB. Yeah? They might want to tweet about the team, though.
Well, we've chucked the grenade in there, Rock, so let's hear from them.
Yeah, good point. Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Okay, aye. Listen, there we go. Never thought we'd be talking about Kieran Dow, but that was your fault, Bridge, the same team as.
There's continuity. I'm looking for continuity.
I get that. There was a chain of thought. Why not? You never change a winning team, Bridge.
Well, that's exactly it. And if it's a winning team and the manager's happy at the end of the game, then why would they change? Why would they change? Unless, of course, some of our better players are on an injury list somewhere and are coming back into the game, then you're actually adding to it, you know. That's the way of football, isn't it? But at the moment, well, you know, one's as good as the other. The new boys that are coming in, they're going to play, and they're going to play a lot for us, and that's for sure. And some of these boys are very talented, very, very talented. It'd be great to watch them. Right, so you've both gone with Buckland and goal then, not even getting the boy a shot. Liam Kelly in the League Cup. GB.
No, Hawks. I think that's as we're not in a position to give players minutes. We need to try and get a good, solid starting 11 for me. So, no, Buckland gets the nod, and we can hopefully continue on the momentum.
Right,
Welcome to the O2 messaging service. The person...
same for you, Bridge?
Same for me, pal. Absolutely.
Okay. This one could be good. Right, so you're right back. GB.
Nara. I think is that how we're taking his name? I don't know his big, huge, long name, but the boy for Feyenoord, that's who I'm putting on the right back.
Right, okay. So he's went for his strongest team and he's putting a boy in he's never seen, apart from his blue movies. Oh, sorry, he's YouTube, sorry.
Freudian slip.
So he's changed the team, Bridge, gone against you. Who's your right back, mate?
Tav. For me, Tav. Until
Right,
such time we get a new captain, it's got to be
person you are
Tav.
calling...
That was your rationale, GB.
I think the going about this sports science stuff, Ox, and you were saying obviously to pick it as GB's team. So let's face it, Tav's played every minute. He's probably been carrying a bit for that injury he's been recovering for. So probably against Dundee, if the boy Nara can't handle Dundee, then we need to worry about him. So get him chucked in there and get the minutes going.
So Sterling is now a third choice right back, Bridgeman.
I think Sterling is unproven at right back, in my opinion. And I also think that if we're going to play him anywhere at the moment, that I think a lot of the fans think he's a really good find for in the midfield. Shall we say, playing beside like a young Barron and giving a help in there, maybe a wee bit further forward than that. I don't want to see him out in the wing. I'm not too keen on that. But I'd like to see him, if we're playing him, we're going to play him in the midfield because he's a big, strong guy.
Didn't he work at your place, did it?
No, it didn't. I have to say it didn't. But I still wouldn't. He's got, again, you've got to give him the chance. And what is he going to do? But somewhere along the line, we're going to find out he's got a, shall we say, he's not the big, heavy star that we're hoping he would be, because he's played really well for us. But you know, he gets round the park. His presence is felt by the opposition a lot of the times. But sometimes he's bypassed. The opposition just play past him and play around him, and there's nothing they can do about it.
Okay, so we'll get difference in the right back. So we move into the centre, the left back. Left back, what are you thinking, boys? GB.
Yefty, all day long, Ox. He's.
Oh, sorry, GB. Carry on.
I know. I was just going to say, mate. He's came in, looked a bit shaky, but he's grabbed the shirt, Ox. What says he's not had so far from me a horrendous performance. He's been steady Eddie, to be fair, and I think you touched on it the other night, mate. I think he's been a bit hard done by with all these yellow cards. He doesn't seem a dirty player to me, mate.
I think he's turning out a wee bit of a cult hero. I just don't. I don't know. There's something about him. I mean, listen, I'm not saying he's Arthur Newman, you know, but I just say that I don't know if it's the simplicity of the way he plays the game, Bridge.
Yeah, for me, it would be Jefty, as far as I'm concerned. Hefty, how you pronounce it. I think he's a quality player. I thought that for the very first time I saw him. He's not got to learn about the football, because obviously he's a good footballer. He's got to learn how to use the football, or use his game in our shall we say, our pitch against some of the rough teams, because he got himself involved, and that's the last thing we need at the moment. We don't need him to get involved. We need him to run up and down the wing. Excuse me. That's what we need. We need him to show his pace, and then all the skills he's got without getting involved.
Yeah, Bridge, you've just come up with an anthem for that guy. You know that Holly song?
He ain't heavy, my brother.
He ain't Jefty, he's our brother. Try that. You've got to let's see it. Does that work?
He ain't hefty, he's my brother.
If I hear that at Ibrox at the weekend, you're getting kudos for it, mate.
That what? Bridge will be away to try that. We'll hear that. He'll be singing it during the tune. Right, centre back.
That's very good, Ox. Yeah, that's very, very good, that one. Very quick.
He ain't Jefty, he's our brother. That'll work, won't it?
Mm-hmm. It's better than that Caledonia, anyway.
Oh, Ibrox owner. You don't like that, GB?
No. I don't mind the actual song, but the I don't know, the way it's sang is not for me.
Is it too complicated for you?
Aye, there's too many words in it.
I thought that, mate. I thought that. Well, you know, Bear don't like it. Bridgeman loves it, didn't he, Bridge? He used to be singing, he ain't Jefty, he's our brother.
He's sitting on the piano in the New Yorks, getting the chords together for it.
How does that start, Bridge? Is it a long, long road?
Exactly. It's a long, long road.
Right, so get Jefty at light back. He ain't Jefty, he's our brother. Right, centre backs. Bridgeman, centre back expert.
Oh, for me, it's got to be, well, the only two guys that are, for me, available to play at a level is Suter and Proffer. They're going to be, I think they're going to be our centre-back pairing for the season, the number one pick centre-back pairing. So if anybody wants to get into the centre-back area, they're going to have to oust them. Or indeed, if they get injured or the manager decides to rest them for a wee while, I don't know. But if they're fit, they'll be picked, in my opinion.
GB.
Yep, agree with Bridge. Ox, I like Big Balogun, but I think, like I said, that's your pairing for the season.
I've just listen. I see Nara, Casamara, Casamara. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. We'll stick with Nara. I see Nara. Maybe I thought he was more coming in to play centre back, and I don't know if we'll see him playing there at the weekend. It'll be interesting because I think there'll be some changes. You know, and if you play him, could you take Tav out the fan line and put Stirling in his so-called natural position? And we see how he goes. But aye, all for the day, GB. So your two sitters, and I'm not talking about Dessers when I mentioned two sitters. Your two players in the midfield, GB.
It's got to be Young Barn, and I would go with Stirling in there with Mox.
All right, that worked well at their place, didn't it?
That was his one-half game, Mox. I think he's done well in there before.
I liked him in there. I liked him in there, but I get my pounder off the south side after that game. Anyway, I think he took all his frustrations out of me. Well, he usually does. Bridgeman?
Yeah, I would agree with that, Sterling and Barn. I think when you mention whomever played against that mob at their midden, I'm afraid, particularly in the midfield, they were on a hiding to nothing because they were on fire. And that's the God's honest truth. They were on fire. They were passing past it. They were passing through everybody. So many times they pass the ball straight through and cutting through our midfield, no problem. We need to be able to hold the ball from the defence and push it up to the midfielders, even through the holding midfielders. We've got to be able to use them. But we ended up, the defence was just pumping the ball out of the way, you know. So we need to be able to play football from our midfield, starting with A2. That's what we need. Start playing
interesting
football.
to see what, once we get the listeners on, what they're thinking. Right, so you've got your front three and your centre forward, your supporting three and your centre forward. What are you thinking, GB?
So out on the left, Oxford go with Cortez again. Out on the right, go with Tierney, and we'll go with our new signing, Barami, in the 10 position.
Centre forward, mate.
Centre forward. Now this is me going on our strongest team. I'll go with Dessers, Ox.
You're breaking up there, mate.
Remember, we're allowed subs. We can get subs in amongst them again. But our strongest team will go with Dessers up front.
All right, okay, mate. All right, interesting. Bridgman?
I agree with him. I think the three midfielders, attacking midfielders, whatever, forwards, they're there.
Right.
I'm interested to see the one we've got in the middle, how he's going to cope behind Dessers, you know, because he is a bit as good a centre half as Dessers is at the moment, centre forward as Dessers is at the moment. So it'll be good to see. It'll be good to see.
Right.
Dessers, I have to say, he somewhere along the line he's got to come good, isn't he? He's just got to come good, or it's going to just bye. It's going to have to happen to him.
I would start, and I don't know the sports science, but if the sports science get the okay and everything's all right this week in training, I would start with Agamandi. For two reasons. Dessers has played every game for us so far, so I take him out and I would like to give the boy's head. What I will say is, I think he'll make more intelligent runs. What I've seen at the weekend there in a half an hour than what Dessers makes, because different types of players. Now, what we don't know, GB, is how good a finisher the boy is.
Iox, and by the way, long term, I think the boy's got to be taking that shot, Dessers. I just think that we need to, like I was saying earlier, about the relationships need to get built up, and I think Barami and Dessers need to start getting that kind of understanding, and then Eggman.
How can Robbie Barami and Egamani?
Just, I think the boy needs more time. I think he's. I mean, some people say just unleash him and let him go, but he's still like the way Clement's went on about him, that he's had to learn the pace of the training, the first team training. He's had to get himself fit again. I just think I agree with you. Dessers has played all the minutes, but I think you play Dessers for again the other 60 minutes, and then you just let the boy loose for the remainder of the game, Ox, and that way you're bedding him in easily, and then like I says, you're just building him up, and then eventually, hopefully, then he's able to grab the shot full time. That's my kind of thinking on it. I don't think you want to lose Dessers' goals. I think you touched on it last night, his kind of goal contributions. We still need a striker to score goals, and what you don't want to do is totally deflate Dessers with a young boy just coming in out of the cold. You want to keep both of them happy in a sense.
Well, all right, I get it. I get what you're saying, mate, but I want to see the boy start. I'll be honest with you, it excited me for that half an hour. But his skill, his control, and his passing. And let's be honest, we have seen Dessers score goals, and he scored some good goals. But he scored the one he scored at Eastern Road when he just passed it in the net. You're thinking, wow, good finish in that. However,
Ross County as well.
Yeah. Just a few weeks ago, Ross County, the first goal was an excellent finish. But I just want to see this boy, and I'm overexciting or getting overexcited. Not the first time in my life, Bridgeman, but there you go.
I'm not going to say anything about that. Your reputation goes before you. I agree with when you talk about Dessers and the boy Gamani. I think the way the game finished, the boy Gamani was on fire. Right, he was a man that was able to hold his own. Lot of skill, brought people into the game, and he didn't do anything in front of goal. Let's put it that way. But he certainly brought other people into the game and could hold the ball. And unfortunately for Dessers, he's been unable to actually hold the ball, and got himself into a lot of trouble. Gets into a good position, and all of a sudden the ball hits the back of his leg or something stupid like that, and away it goes. So this boy has shown what skills he's got. I don't know whether he's ready to just walk straight in to the first team straight away, but wouldn't it be a pleasure to watch that fit guy, that boy fit, playing in our team up front? Oh my goodness gracious, what a difference that would be! And as soon as he gets his proper touch, and he's got the fitness, his legs can carry him. Ibrox is a big pitch, so he needs to be able to do it at Ibrox, and he's got to get time. He's got to get time at Ibrox, and that's for sure. Whether the manager says, I'm not wanting Dessers on here, let's try some fresh stuff and put the boy in for the start, see how he's doing, and bring Dessers on after if it's necessary. I don't know. But I'd love to see a man. I like to see him playing because he looks the part. He does look the part.
I'm not expecting him to play 90 minutes, GB, but I would start him.
Aye, Ox, either way, for me, to be honest, I want to see him on the park, that's for sure, Ox. Like you says, the boy, Nat Hoffer, he was on, the way he was trapping the ball, the way he was bringing it down, the way he could see a pass, it's all good, Ox. It's just, for me as well, do you really want to risk him for a long period of the game when it's a kind of lesser game at the weekend? We've got a long season in this league, you know what I mean, and I want to see that boy stay fit. And
I mean, you know the same argument every week, mate. It's a quarter final of a cup tie, isn't it?
Aye, I can know, but I think we'll need him. Imagine we lost him. We're back to the Dessers, aren't we?
So when do you play him then? Imagine he gets injured in his first full game. You can't play with that, GB. You'd never drive your motor, would you?
I know. I'm just trying. That way, I'm very cautious because that way when you get that.
There's nothing wrong with being cautious. There's nothing wrong with being cautious. However, you would never bungee jump off of Broomhill Flats if that was the case. What's the bit?
No.
That's quite a good one. Yeah.
You start singing that. He ain't heavy. He ain't Jeffy. He's your brother.
He's my brother. But you're talking about the boy there. I don't. Ox, you see the manager playing that guy, or you would like to see him play him. There's nobody who would disagree with you because we're not getting very much out of Dessers. But I just don't want that boy to be, shall we say, not fit. If he's fit enough, and the manager says that he's fit enough, and he's doing the training, the full training, the way everybody else is doing it, then I'd play him for the start. We'll give him a chance, let him get his head, see what he's going to do. The big problem is that he doesn't know what he's up against because he's never played here, and we would know, or we should be able to tell him there's some big calcium muckers that are going to do some damage to him. They take the ball and everything above grass level.
He made his debut 3 weeks ago. I think he's 21 now, lad.
Yeah.
I think so. Right? He made his debut 3 weeks ago. He played half an hour a week ago, nearly by the time the next game.
Yeah.
How long does it take you to get fit?
No, I don't mean that. I mean, as long as his manager is happy that he's fit enough and he's up, he knows what his game's going to be. In Ibrox, we're expecting the centre forward to be able to get in there, do something, and put the ball in the net. That's what expectation.
Yes.
So, but we're not getting that for Dessers now.
Well, yes,
we hope we get it, but we don't always.
His goal scoring record, even this season, isn't the worst. But in the last two games, apart he was when the team was good in the opening salvo at the weekend, he was all right. After that, he was poor. The last two games, he's been poor, and maybe he needs a bit of competition, GB. Yeah? Before we change the subject, because things are breaking news. Look at the lobby, boys. Breaking news. Right, carry on, GB.
Right. No, Ox, you're right. Competition might let us key Dessers of the week because he wasn't too chuffed about getting taken off at the weekend there. But if the boy gets a start, then it's a good thing. And I'm kind of contradicting myself. I've been one that's been banging on about our signings that they take too long, come on, kind of wraps them up in cotton wool for too long, and yet other teams can just buy a signing and go straight in and start scoring goals. So maybe it's time to just unleash and go for it. And like you say, it's a cup tie. What's the worst that can happen? You know what I mean? We go for it and we give the boy the experience. And it's probably a better way for him to gather his minutes in that kind of game than a pressure league game where they need the 3 points.
Anyway, right. We're going to ask you, let's hear from you because we've got some breaking news, and for those who are on Twitter, they might be picking up. I'll just read this statement. This is some of the things that's broke on social media. Just literally, as Bridge was singing, he ain't Jeffy, he's our brother. Dave King has challenged the Rangers board to an EGM as he seeks to return to the Ibrox as chairman. King believes that 50 million is required in external funding in the coming seasons. I've got a follow-up. He's challenging the Ibrox board to let the fans decide who run the club by putting it to an EGM vote. That way we can leave it to the supporters for ones who decide who they want to run the club. I don't know how that's going to pan out the EGM because I don't believe he would have the shares, Bridge. But there you go, just broke.
Well, what can I say to that? I was saying this the other night when I was asked the question. As far as I'm concerned, the board under John Gilligan, they have to make way or make something up, call a meeting, because this will go on and on and on ad infinitum. It's just has to be stopped and sorted. And King's made the first move by the sound of it, and he's put a challenge out there. I don't know whether I still feel as good about Dave King as I did 12 years ago. No, 12 years ago, 10 years ago, when he came in and did what he did. Well, I was very happy with him, and him and Gilligan, very happy, and thought he saved my club. And I don't know whether I feel as good about him now as I did then. But if it takes an EGM, which I thought probably would take, I think they're going to have to call an EGM and let someone decide what's going to happen within that. Whether it's the fans that make the move or whether it's only the shareholders. I think. Sorry.
Would you have any? With the AGM being so close? Well, obviously an EGM has set business, doesn't it? So you would
correct.
Need
you would need an EGM. So, in my opinion, you would need an EGM, and this is only shareholders. I think a lot of folk are thinking, let the fans decide. Admittedly, a huge number of fans like myself are shareholders.
Yes.
But,
I've not got as many millions as you, but I've got some.
But not all I'm meaning is that I don't know whether there's some number of fans would want to have a say in this and vote, and whether how
do the fans who have to get shares have a say in it?
Exactly, that's it. That would be the question.
They have to buy shares, mate.
I don't know what the feeling is, because people are going to say what they would like. Particularly, let's say on this forum here, they're going to come in here and they're going to say, I would like this and I want anti-vote for that. They may not be shareholders, but they maybe like a vote on that.
You can't if you've still got shares.
I agree. But it's just the way fans think. Whomever it is that's running Rangers, right, needs to come forward, right, and say whether we're going to have an EGM or not. That's what I think is going to have to happen.
Do you want my take on that, bitch?
Go on, pal.
Right. Listen, I think when Dave King came in, I think what he done, he helped us a lot. and I think he'll always be an integral part of my history. I don't know enough about what he's trying to do, but my gut feeling tells me that he's got something. It's a salvo for somebody else. He's got somebody with him, because I don't think he would put his head above the parapet unless he had a plan, because he's anything but a fool, mate. He's a shrewd businessman who has shown the passion he's got for our club. He's a Castlemilk lad, and he'll be streetwise as well, mate. So I think he must have a plan. Whether I like that plan and I want him involved is not for me to say. I get my vote as a shareholder like everybody else. But however, I don't think if we can't have an EGM, but the setup of the present board, unless there's some backstabbing goes on, I don't think it'll matter, because I think the status quo will hold, because the people, if you like, the people who are involved will hold sway with the number of shares that's involved in the boardroom at the moment, even though King is the biggest shareholder, roughly, approximately 15%. I think it's about 14.4 or some GB.
Aye, Ox, I mean, you're the best man to kind of ask about this, right? So we've got an AGM coming up, so that means nothing to do with this, basically.
Well, an AGM's pretty much set business. When you have the accounts get ratified, you vote on the board, you maybe have some questions, etc. An EGM will be a one-item agenda. We'll discuss whatever the proposal is. It could be anything, you know. You want to treble Bridges' wages, you know what I mean? You know, but obviously this will be about the setup of the club, and there would be a vote on. There might be more than one vote, depending what people got. You have a special resolution, which people can vote in proxy or who can't make it. Same with the AGM, but the AGM's businesses are usually set out in the same format, mate. Yeah. You re-elect the board, you have the annual accounts getting passed, and then you have reports for the various departments. So it's a different kind of meeting. Some of the things spoke about can be the same, Bridge, but they're different.
Absolutely, yeah.
Set up our meetings, yeah.
But normally in an EGM, it's a one topic, right? It's normally a one topic, possibly two that are related. You know, it's a two related topics, and I think that. I do apologise, GB. I actually think I've jumped in there in front of you. Apologies, pal. Carry on.
No. I was going to say, like, obviously, for a rewind back to when Dave King did do the power grab with the Free Bears and stuff like that. What was that then? Did they? Because that was all shares as well, wasn't it? They had to buy a certain amount, and then so
I think
they
legally, and listen, I'm not checking this out. I think once you own 25% of business, you can make a go for a takeover, and you can offer people a price to take your shares. Yeah, it's complicated. I'll get that checked out, but I don't see anybody at the moment who's got that. There's two ways to this. There's people who think we'd be better with one owner, and you go down the, if you like, the David Murray route, and I'm not talking about how it ended. I'm talking about one guy makes a decision, then you don't have this. And you have the other way, people who want us to run, we say a dozen Rangers men, and if one of them falls foul of the fold, it's easier to find one more than it is to find the equivalent of 12, you know. But there's two sides to the coin. At the moment, I would say that Dave King's making a salvo and he's making his opening moves. How that pans out, or who's behind them, or who's with them, I'm not privy to that information, or I don't have it. I'd hope to have it, but I'm all right enough, Bridge.
But I think, you see, King, as you quite rightly said in your description of him, is absolutely spot on. He's probably never changed. The problem he's got is he walked away. He said at the time, I need to do some family. I want to go back with my family because we've got things to take care of. But he held on to his shares to retain, well, current to him anyway. He's still the largest shareholder and things like that. Now, he wants to come back, and you might find that people's noses are going to get put out of place. Personally speaking, if the man wants to come back, get him in and let him come in and explain to the board, this is what I want to do, and then put that to an EGM so that the other shareholders can listen to what he's got to say about it and decide what they want. There's a lot of folk like me who are old and stubborn don't want things to change. I personally don't want anything to change. I've said this before and I'll say it again. I want the existing chairman to run with the club and go with the club. And everybody should just join in and support him. That's what I believe. But that doesn't mean to say John Gilligan is going to be there forever. He might not want to be the chairman forever. So there's maybe an opportunity for John Gilligan to be as friendly as he can be with Dave King and support him in his quest to become chairman again.
I've been bedfellows before, mate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And listen, I don't know the personalities. I can put two and two together. I don't think it takes a genius to work out that at one time there was a fallout with some of the people and Dave King. Yeah, you could see that happen, particularly in about 2021. Yeah. Listen, it's going to be interesting. Ultimately, GB, I just want what's best for the club. Yeah.
Yes.
And I want it short term, long term, and people will come and go. But hopefully we get it right. It's important, mate.
Ox, you hit the nail on the head with King being the largest shareholder. I mean, he's not got to do all this like in the press and stuff, away to talk sport, getting interviews and all the rest of it to make himself look like a fool. So he's either had some reassurances.
Do you think he's got back in then? Do you think? Yeah.
Oh, massive! I think so, massively, Ox. I think he's got.
Are you reading your piggy bank? Are you?
Oh, aye. Well, I think this was it. Club 1872 is a shareholder as well.
They've only got about 5%, mate.
Aye, but it's still one there. And then John Bennett, I think when he was talking about him, it seems as though they were on the same page. I think so. I think the only ones that I think will only be against King, to be honest, it's got to be the Parks. I think they're about the only ones. I think.
You mean? Are you saying on the board the only ones that will be against King?
I think you've been a wee bit naive there, GB. Yeah.
Maybe Ox, but I think
unless there's a Shakespearean drama going to get played out, yeah.
I think the likes the way all their shares are and how the club's sitting, they'll not be wanting to spend money. King's made this clear as well. You start going down the route of trying to find headhunt a chairperson, a chairman that's kind of wet behind the ears, a CEO that's wet behind the ears. Basically, King said that he'll give services to the club for nothing, but he's going to come in for 2 years and let's say sort the place out, get the right people in place, and it's not going to cost the club like a guy for outside to come in. So it's a no-brainer.
So what you want, Dave King as CEO or a chairman?
Well, he said both, that the club need to go out now and spend money to try and find a chairman as well. So he's basically saying he'll do that. He'll come in and be chairman for obviously free. He'll give you all his expertise and find the right guys and put them in place. And then again, he's protecting everybody else's shares in there as well, because there'll be a lot of guys in there wondering where the club's gone as well.
The guys in there are all part of the decision making, aren't they? George Latham, George Taylor, the boy for the Far East. Let me get a list up. We'll get a list up. Anyway, we better get the phone lines open. If Twitter's gone mad, we can give people their chance to state their views. Listen, I've not got a dog in a fight. I just want what's best for the club, Bridgman.
100%. It's all for me. It's all to do with the club. It's my club, and I don't want to see my club in the state it was in, and all the years ago, allowed to just about disintegrated. We're blowing ourselves up all over the place, and King and the Three Bears stepped in. They stepped in and got us back on steady ground again, and I'm ever so grateful to all of them. Ever so grateful. I think it was the best thing that could happen to Rangers. And maybe we're looking for something like that again. Maybe. And maybe a lot of Bears who are similar to myself, just shareholders, that's all. But we care. We care deeply what's happening. And we might be back into this again. We might need King to step in and organise some cash coming in to the club so that the club can go forward. It might happen. It might have to happen like that. And whatever happens, believe you me, I think that much of King. I'd back King. I would back King. But I don't want John Gilligan to get kicked out. He is the chairman at the moment, and they have to step up and come to some sort of agreement so that there's nobody from the board going to get the bullet or booted out or anything like that, have to be forced to stand down. If King comes in and becomes the chairman, it's going to be the existing chairman's got to allow that to happen, the existing board, should I say, without any rancour, without any. We don't want to be.
It doesn't look as if it's going to be everybody pally-wally. I think there's personalities, so maybe fail out bridge. Yeah.
Yeah, but the last time the Three Bears had to oust.
That was 9 years ago. There's been a lot.
Yes, but they had to oust a lot of people, right? Who thought they were doing a good job. The boys that run the buses in Greenock.
No, it was Mike Ashley and his cohorts that were running. Mike
Ashley was the worst. Yeah, that's exactly it, you know.
And it was after that. You need to remember we're on live. Get your timeline. Check.
No. The lads that ran the buses were gone, on the board.
It was they were still there, the boys,
yes.
And then obviously it was Ashley's cohorts that were in, and the boys kind of made a move, didn't they? They made a move and they got it over the line. Right, so I'll just use the breakdown. AK sent me this the other night actually, because Albert was digging me up for less than 1%. Right, no Aces Assets Limited, that's Dave King, 14.3, Douglas Park, 11.2, George Taylor, Teddy Taylor's boy, 9.85, Stuart Gibson, based, I think, in Japan, Stuart, maybe Hong Kong, I'm not 100% sure, 9.85. I don't know who Rated Invested Limited did, we'll check that out, they've got 6.1, John Bennett with 5.5, Persons Investment Limited, 4.42. George Letham, I think, is coming in to help John Gilligan with a lot of stuff at the moment. I've heard that. And it's also rumoured that we're looking to pay the CEO $500,000, 4.98. And Club 1872 set me 4.96. So there's a breakdown of the shares, mate. Yeah. And we'll see how it pans out. Obviously, the fans have got the rest, guys like myself, Bridge. Yeah. So what have you got there? 25, 35, 45, 51, 61. There's roughly about 70% of the shares sit there with these groups, mate. Yeah.
Yeah. Right, so would the fans actually have a say?
Oh, yes. It's a vote. It's a vote for the shareholders.
Have you got any shares, GB?
No, that's what I'm meaning. Sorry, the shareholders. So that other, you're saying there's 70% is made up of what the companies there.
Yeah.
So the other 30% is made up of the rest of the shareholders, which technically will be fans, I would imagine.
Aye.
So that 30%, they'll get a vote on this. Who's going to be the next chairman? Basically.
Yeah, absolutely.
A vote in every resolution, mate.
Yeah.
But first of all, you've got to get them to vote, which is never that easy. And I would think that if you look back at the EGMs, you'll most likely find that's about 80% the votes get past the number of shares. So there's only about a third of the actual fans vote who have got shares, because a lot of people have got shares just to have the certificate on their mantelpiece, aren't they?
Yeah, they're not active. I'm not active.
If you look at you look at Fox's mirrored ceiling, you can see his right behind his bed.
Very good. Very good.
I wasn't joking, mate. Right. Okay, so listen, that's just broke. We'll build up with the tune in a few minutes and come and give your thoughts. Is things going to change? Do you think Dave King's get backing? It looks like that to me, Bridge, because the strategy tells me he's put his head above the parapet. It's been rumoured for a while that it was investment. Remember, he came out and said, that was the first time we'd heard from Dave for a while, and he came out and made the statement, and then he said, no, that's not happening, and then all of a sudden he's back again. So it suggests to me he's got some backers. That's what it suggests.
Well, he's an old hand at it. He knows what he's doing. Obviously, he's a brilliant businessman. He wouldn't be where he is if he wasn't. I just think
he's not the most successful businessman in that group.
No, of course not. I'm just saying, in his own right, he's a successful businessman. But my thought is, when it comes to this, is I don't know whether him going to the sources, the media sources, Talk Sport and the Daily Record, and I don't know if he went to BBC or any of these. A lot of these organisations are not liked by the Rangers fans, and there's a lot of just the guys you're speaking about, like me. I just, you might put you off him, and then he comes up with you just saying no, and that's all there is to it. I just don't know how he's done it and why. I don't know why he went to Talk Sport. I don't know why he did an interview with the Daily Record. No idea.
He's not had an interview with the Daily Record, Bridge. It's all through Chris Jack, and he's the Herald.
Oh, sorry.
It's
the Herald. The Herald then.
You've got to remember. They're no friend of yours neither. The Herald, are they?
No, but
exactly. No.
The Daily Record are piggybacking off stories for basically the Rangers Review.
Same as we do every night, GB.
But no, that's fair. But I think Chris Jack is a bear, so I would take his word before I would take any of the others in the.
It's already the headlines in the online versions of the Scottish media. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I bet you £1 and a penny the headline without checking out says something about Kingmaker. It's a certainty, isn't it?
A long live the king.
Yeah. Really weird. It's really weird for someone like me who's lived through all that. And I'm not saying a lot of you guys are a lot younger than me, so you obviously lived through it, But to live through that and then find that here, wait a minute, we're no in this situation again where we're looking for people to come in and causing potential turmoil in the club. Well, maybe there is turmoil and he's going to smooth it down.
Turmoil, playing devil's advocate, Bridge, is the turmoil all right? Is it all right if ultimately the right thing happens?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. The turmoil problems might be already there, and he comes in to smooth it out. Yeah.
But it might be. Listen, you don't know if things are right and wrong a lot of the times in hindsight. Yeah, Dave King could come in with his people, and it could be, and that's enough. I'm guessing. Please, I don't know. I'm purely speculating. He could come in with his people. It could be the best thing that's ever happened to us, right? Because they have a strategy, a plan. Everybody gets together, even the guys up there. They all kiss and make up and we go forward. Great. Or it could go Pete Tong. Yeah.
Correct.
It's life, innit? You don't know, but I want ultimately what's best for the football club. Because what's best for the football club is best for the supporters. And I'll tell you this, GB, the supporters deserve the best.
Yep, agree, Ox, and you just touched on it there, like how long this has been going on for, like the kind of turmoil. You think back, like, see, for me as a Rangers fan, I was basically the tail end of 9 in a row. So you're probably talking 7, 8, and 9 for us. 98 onwards was the kind of time that I seriously started watching the Rangers and stuff like that. And then since then, if you think about it, we were very up and down with Dick Advocaat at the end of his spell. McLeish came in, we had to cut budgets. Then we had Le Guin. Then we had Walter back. Then we had our times. You know what I mean? For me as a Rangers supporter, see this time, see when Dave King comes back, he needs to come back. We need structure and things need to settle down, Ox. We need to stop all this because if we keep...
There's only one thing we need, mate. There's a winning team on the pitch.
Mm-hmm. But that's what I'm saying. We need to settle down and we need to have everything in place, Ox. We can't keep doing all this carry on with cutting budgets every couple of years and all that carry on. We need something sustainable. And I think this is maybe... Dave King's kind of created a bit of this problem as well. As much as I want him back in there, he walked away and he, again, left it for, let's say, his part and Bennett to carry on with. He really should have hung about and got us through the kind of COVID bit and all the rest of it, and hopefully held on to Stevie G for another title. Because that, you imagine, see if we got that second title, Ox, that would have been us straight into Champions League. We would have had a bigger budget.
So I know that's a maybes, mate. That's the hindsight. But in hindsight, we should have sold Kent and Morelos. In hindsight, yeah.
Aye. That's it. Or even one of them walks in what it
In
says.
hindsight, in my opinion, Kachina and Bale should have never get near the Rangers jobs. Never.
Yep, and Kashina was under Dave King's watch.
Aye. But I know why he got the job. Anyway.
After the tune? I want that answer after the tune.
Oh no. People tell me things in confidence. I can keep a secret. Anyway, it's time for a tune bridge, isn't it? He's away already making his tea. Right, let's have a tune.
As I was walking down the Coleman Road, I met a bunch of strangers. They said to me, are you going to see the famous Glasgow Rangers? So I took them up to Ibrox Park just to see the flags unfurl. After that display, they had to say you're the best team in the world. Some people they sing songs about the land that they adore, and some about Boardroom won the country's greatest wars. Some others still seem quite content to use another team, but I can sing a song about a famous football team. As I was walking down the Coleman Road, I met a bunch of strangers. They said to me, are you going to see the famous Glasgow Rangers?
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
All right. Well, if we don't get calls tonight, I think the thing that's been muted about maybe turning us into a pod and GB.
Game's a bogey. No, I'm sure that the callers are out there. I mean, it'd be great to hear. I'm here, mate. I'm here, bud. Can you hear me?
Oh.
I'm here, mate.
GB.
I'm here, mate. I'm here, Ox.
GB.
I'm here, Ox.
Yeah, you hear me?
Aye, I can hear you, but aye, that was weird there. Must be the tune was going on too long. No, you're right. You're right about Hangway. Aye, game. Oh, can't I get it out now? It would be games of bogey. With if you don't get the calls, but I'm sure they will, Ox, because this is a massive subject. This is a massive turning point for our club again.
Right, mate. Yeah, it's your show, so we're giving them a platform to have their say. I've not got a dog in the fight, mate. You know, I do know some of the people that's involved in the boardroom, but I've not got a dog in the fight. I don't know Dave King. Never met the guy, yeah. But I just want what's best for the clubs, and I think what frustrates a lot of people is the media and been playing out in the media, and I get all that. But also, you've got to get by that and see what's get your own mind up, because let's be honest, they've got an agenda. You know, why would we want to listen to what people, what maybe Chris Sutton, John Hartson, what they think about our club? We're no interested, mate. Just get by it. Yeah.
Here.
Ox, I think the way, I mean, this is us probably coming up for about a week now since we heard about John Bennett and that, and the man's done the right thing with having the illness and stuff like that, stepping back. But since then, Ox, all we've heard is sponsorship deals getting renewed. We've heard about that they're looking forward to welcoming us back to Ibrox. There should have been something for the board, Ox, and it might sound like a bit of criticism, maybe they've had things to get sorted out, but they should be straight out right away saying, we're getting things in place, we can't wait to get you back to Ibrox, and this is the plan going forward. But
Did the chairman not do that 4 weeks ago?
Who?
John Bennett.
No, Gilligan, didn't he?
No, John Bennett 4 weeks ago.
Aye,
John Gilligan just became the chairman on Saturday, mate. And if it was unexpected, they'll be getting their ducks in a row, mate. Yeah. They might have a board meeting at the game on Saturday before or after. I would say before because of the 5 o'clock kickoff. And then we'll take it from there, yeah.
I still think they've waited too long, Ox. I think you need to get clarification out there for the fans and stuff like that. Because
boardrooms don't want all that, GB.
Because you've got, like you say, you've got guys like Chris Sutton and all the rest of it, and pumping their gums in the meat.
They'll still come out, mate. They'll still come out.
But again, it'd be good to see some of the board take some action and actually have a bit of a say back. You know what I mean? Like I said, instead of just.
Do you think your board of directors are going to get any of them are going to get in a spat in the media with the policemen, with the people in the red tops in Scotland?
No, but
seriously.
I'd want them to show some strength. I'd want them to show a bit of strength and go, no, we're Glasgow Rangers. Don't worry, we've got this in hand. I mean, I want to see something back for them. I don't want to see them saying, oh, we're looking forward to seeing you at Ibrox. I mean, I want to see them saying, we're looking forward to seeing you at Ibrox, and this is the plan that we're looking to put in place. I mean, no waiting for another 2 weeks down the line, say, oh, by the way, we've decided something. I think Ox, they've been far too slow with that, and they've just let says King come in and do what he's want. He's the one that's out in the media and saying things are no right. So he's basically bad mouthing them, and they're sitting back and taking it.
Hi, good evening.
Oh, evening, John.
Hello there.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm doing not too bad. I'm calling in obviously about the Dave King situation.
Aye, you just broke your night, John, yeah?
Yeah. Aye. In my opinion, and I'm only one supporter, that man needs to come back and sort things out. And you've got a board there that's running short, not just a CEO. You've got another couple of members within that, that need to be filled. And to be quite honest, in the Constitution, which is, that gives you your licences, etc. It's all passed by your council, but the Glasgow City Council, I would take it. If you're not running your club with regards to your Constitution, you're breaking the law.
I think the business, I mean, we should have a CEO as part of our business, but the other people it's missing are, I think the academy director, I don't think it's getting to do with Glasgow District Council, and maybe if some people would say a director of football, which is an optional position, yeah. We do need a chief executive, somebody who runs the club day to day, because your board of directors don't do that. Bridgeman?
Yeah, absolutely right. We need a CEO to actually run the club, and that's 100%. It's got to happen. Or someone step in and do a double take. Like the chairman could be the can he be the CEO as well? I
Do you
don't
think
know
that's
about
the right
business
thing
rules.
to do, Bridge? Do you
No,
think
no, I
that's-
don't. No.
no,
I've said this all along. We need a CEO, and we need somebody a lot tougher than we've had for Scottish football. We definitely need as tough as anybody in Scottish football. That's what we need, and as our CEO, don't take any rubbish. Sorry, I thought I heard somebody saying something there. Sorry.
Carry on.
No, I was just going to say that as far as I'm concerned, we want a CEO in as quickly as possible. But given the situation, is it going to be King? Is it not going to be King? Maybe the CEO can take a back seat at the moment. Personally speaking, I would get one in the day before tomorrow.
I get it, Bridge, but you've got to watch them. We don't bring one in and you get a new regime. They don't want the one that's there.
Oh yes, absolutely. I understand. It wouldn't happen. It wouldn't happen until this thing's done.
Okay, so Dave King needs about approximately 11% of shareholders. A couple of the big boys or a lot of the fans to get behind them to get the AGM. So if you accept the Club 1872 are with their 5%, if you accept that, and we don't know that, we're speculating, that would give him about just over 19. He's looking for 6-7% to force an AGM and have a discussion. Means nothing, Bridget. It's only a discussion on that.
Exactly. No, it's not set in stone. And I think he'll get the 19% of his net. Is it 19? Did you say he needs? Well, he'll get whatever he needs anyway. That's for sure.
11.
There's a lot of people in the Glasgow Rangers board and the support who are shareholders, and they'll support King.
But I don't know how much support he'll get from the board at the moment. That's going to be interesting. Joan?
Aye, I think he'll get what he needs. I really do. If he wasn't sure, he wouldn't be going down the road of the EGM asking for the emergency.
I don't disagree with you, John, because let's be honest, you like Dave King and you don't like him, you might not have an opinion on him, but what you've got to say, he ain't a dafty, is he?
I heard I actually sat and listened. I don't know how many did, but I sat and listened to the Talk Sport interview that Dave King gave. And I thought everything that he was saying was right. He did say he's not coming in, he doesn't want to buy shares. That's not what he's here for. He's here to sort the situation out with the club, the players, get everyone back running the way a club should be run.
Right. Listen, when a major shareholder, the biggest shareholder, he's obviously got a sixth of the shares. His opinion's got to carry weight. That's only right. But obviously, when they set up the board, GB, he's not got the majority, is he?
No, he's not. No, and he's going to need to get them on side. I think he's definitely got a decent amount of allies, Ox in there, but it could be another. Like I says, it could be another struggle for him. But I think the way the feeling is with the fans, we probably the board looking at their investment, Ox, where it's gone stale. I mean, these guys are really good at making money, and they'll not want their investment just sitting doing nothing, Ox. They'll want that to progress, and maybe Dave King's looking at it as well, Ox, that all his hard work that he did put into Rangers initially is becoming undone, and he's not wanting it to unravel further because it will set them back maybe even further in the years. So I think what it says, there'll be a bit of him that's panicking, and this is why he's pushed the button and he's pushing for this. I think it will be a few folk wanting to see the club move on and get back on it a stable footing.
I just hope his motivation, and whoever gets involved and whoever wins, his motivation is the club and the football team, because that's my motivation. John, then Bridge.
Yes, I mean, he was asked about, because he had this majority shareholders, or majority shares. But
No, he's not
said-
got the majority
he-
shares. He's my biggest
Sorry.
shareholder.
right, biggest shareholder.
Aye.
But he did say, he says, look, he says, I'm no here. He says, I've already said to you, I'm no here to put money in or buy more shares. He says, but see, at the end of the day, he says, he says, I am Rangers through and through. I've always been Rangers through and through. And this could affect, he says, my shares. Because my shares could go down or whatever, the same as
Aye.
everybody else.
If you have another share issue and you bring other people in, you dilute the shares, so the value of your shares can be worth less.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that's possible.
But, and he also said he was willing to come here for the 2 years, and that's what he reckons it'll take to
you
sort
imagine
things
that?
out and go
you
back
imagine
to.
that, Joan? Bridgeman wakes up in the morning, he's millions worth 100,000. Oh,
Well, there we are. I want his address. But
Yes.
I trust him implicitly. I definitely do.
well, good luck with that.
No Bridgman. Dave King. What you like?
Dear.
Oh, dear.
Right, okay, right. Look, the big story broke tonight, Dave King. Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Right. I don't know how this is going to pan out. My gut tells me, GB, that Dave King, he's got a plan. I've nothing to back that up. Put the jigsaw pieces together. He's got a plan, and that plan must be have other people involved. Yeah, unless there's been the board of directors. Some of them have approached him. You never know, but then he has got other people involved. It's just that some of the same people. Yeah.
Aye, it could be Ox. I think Ox. I mean, it's all hearsay and all the rest of it, but like, and I'm not saying that Stephen Gerrard would end up back at Ibrox or anything like that, right? But what I mean is, it's just weird how there's wee snippets been happening in the build up to this. There's been Gerrard's posted like a message on his Instagram about like how he'd wanted a poster of the Blue Sea Ibrox and stuff like that, and the next minute Dave King comes out of nowhere with wanting back to Ibrox, and then you've got John Bennett stepping down for the chairmanship and all that. I mean, it's just these things just don't start to happen for no reason, Ox. Like I says, the Gerrard thing's nothing to do with this, but I'm just meaning it's just strange how these kind of wee things just creep out of nowhere. And the next minute we're looking at a power grab
as
again.
As long as he wasn't issuing the board of directors with new pagers, mate, we'll be all right, you know.
Oh, I know.
So listen, conspiracy theories joining dots. Look,
Yeah.
let's take them in isolation. Yeah, Stevie J wants something something for his time here. John Bennett, someone as he steps down, might be totally nothing to do with Dave King. Dave King's maybe came out the wood what about a month ago, Bridge? No, the first time, yeah, when he said the American thing was muted, and then he came out and poohed it. Maybe his money's coming from somewhere else. Maybe it's coming from Castlemilk.
Yeah, it could be.
There.
It could be. I think, like, you know, much like Joan, I've put a lot of faith in Dave King, and I still have a lot of faith in him. But I don't forget he went away, he walked away, but for family reasons primarily, I think he walked away, and I would welcome back, providing I'd welcome him back. Mr. Him out there, I'd welcome him back most assuredly. Come back in and help the club, because that's what it's about. Help Rangers get us back onto our feet again. If we need that, he'll be able to see it. get it done, whatever is needed done to stabilise our club, so that we don't need to worry about is anything going to happen to us, this, that, the next thing. Get it settled, get it done as quickly as possible, and I'd welcome him back. If he's going to come back for 2 years and get it all sorted, come on in. And I'm quite sure Gilligan is part of it as well. He's probably part of it.
I believe Gilligan's friendly with Dave King, and John Bennett and Dave King know each other very well. And Dave King, I think, had said to John Bennett, "I'm here for you." You know, with the man being ill, he says, "I'm here for you. You don't, but we don't know if there's been a conversation with John Bennett and Dave King.
No.
Maybe
You'll
a couple
never
of
know
months
that.
ago.
You'll
We
never
don't know what.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
No. Listen, look, let's be honest. They've all got one mutual love, haven't they? John Bennett, Dave King, John Gilligan, George Taylor, all the boys involved in the club, right? The individuals that we know, the Park family, Stuart Gibson, George Letham. What are you thinking of them, or whether you think they've done a good job, or you've got problems with each and every one of them? However, they're all bears. Let's be honest about that, GB, yeah?
They're all bears, Ox, and I do genuinely hope that they all can pull together, Ox, on it, and just, like you says, do what's best for the club. Now, they might, like you says, a lot of them might not like Dave King, but I would certainly take his experience and his past experience into consideration and look to stabilise the club, because that's what we need. We need, like I says, things to settle down. We need the right people put back in place again into certain major positions in the club. And then, like I says, in time, Dave King will probably move on again, because the guy has made it clear in the past, Ox, that he's not got the energy to stay there for a long-term period. So fresh investment's needed. We're needing a guy there with a bit of experience. The board are probably a bit tired, I think. So he's a perfect fit for them, Ox. And I think if they're wanting to protect their investment and, like you say, drive the shares up rather than down.
They might have to find a lot of money if some of them walk away, mate. Yeah, because I think we own the parts about 12 million. Anyway, we enjoyed Andy for Leeds. Evening, Andra.
Hi, good evening, guys. It's John. Look, I'm all for him coming back, right? Sometimes it's better the devil, you know. Listen, when he left the club, as I seen it last time, he left us in what was a healthy position, and he put these people in charge, as I see it, thinking that these guys were going to carry on the job for him. They've obviously failed him. Whether the Rangers man or no, whatever's happened since he's gone, they've not done the right thing by the club. They've not done the job properly. It's probably too big for him. You know, the expertise that's needed to get and keep Rangers going where they were. They've obviously fallen down on it, in my opinion, there's no doubt about it. What I wouldn't have done, I wouldn't have come out and done I agree with the interview on Talk Radio. I agreed with everything he said, more or less. I wouldn't have come out and gone public that way. I would have tried to seek to get into the current board members and see if they could, come to some kind of agreement where they could talk. Listen, you played in football teams and everything and work in life. We don't always get on with people, but you've got to do what's right for the club. This is a rich club, rich history, everything, and it's just fading away. It's bad. We're a laughing stock. We're not competing. What looks like, we'll just accept, we'll wait another 2 years, and if we win a trophy along the way. No, I'm sorry. That's not how the club would start it. Now, I know times are changing and all that, but that's not how the club. Once you get that mentality that, we'll just put it down. I mean, what was that he said after the game? Oh, we made mistakes, a few mistakes, but in 1 or 2 years' time, you won't see these mistakes on the park. I'm sorry, that's a guy, that's a manager. Stuff like that, it's amateurish, it's embarrassing. I just want to see Rangers go forward here and come together and stop the fighting and all that, because it's getting toxic out in there. It's getting toxic on the terraces. I'm pretty sure of that. I've seen all this back in the day, and it's coming again. The fans are so split now. It's becoming really worrying. I'm worrying that if we don't get our act together here, we're going to end up in the dark days again here.
I don't see the fans being split, mate. I've been 4 times this season, 6 times this season, and I don't see the fans split. What I see is the internet warrior split.
Well, there is that, and the keyboard warriors and all that.
I don't see it. I don't see the fans split. I don't feel that at all when I've been going to the game.
Well, you're in a better position than me, Ox, because you're going to the games. I'm just what I'm seeing, innit?
When I was there and I was at Hampden for the games, I didn't feel the fans that were there were split. They were moaning. They were moaning together, yeah. I didn't feel a split, mate. I didn't feel that toxicity at all. People are annoyed because of Hampden.
I won't disagree with you on that, because I'm not at the games,
guys,
you know.
You get people telling you, I'm not going to Hampden. I've not been to Ibrox for 30 years. You know?
Oh, I get that. And the guys that go, they've got more right and the likes of me. I will say that, but I'm still a Rangers fan, like, you know, and I'm worried.
Life gets in the way of people. People's lives change, and people, that doesn't make you don't care because your life or your health or whatever stops you. Listen, there's a million reasons why people can't get to the game. Some people can't afford it, mate. I'm in a fortunate position I can, but other people can't, and that's a matter of fact. Other people's health let them down. Other people are looking after relatives, sons, daughters, grandkids, elderly parents. Everybody, life gets in the way. We've got a million stories to tell, but it doesn't mean they don't care, Andy.
Oh, definitely. I care as much as anybody else, and everybody. We all feel the same. Listen, this is the one thing that you can't really explain it to everybody, but we all get it. We all hurt the same, and I just do not like the way our club's being run. It's basket case stuff. It really is. Now, I'm not saying for 1 minute the guys are not in there are not Rangers men, but they're obviously not competent at doing the job properly, or we wouldn't be in that trouble, would we?
There's football thing, mate, right, and there's maybe room for take-up. Where is the basket case, mate? What are you basing that on? You're basing that on the accounts, or you're basing it on the fact that we're improving the stadium and there was an overrun? Are you based on that? Or are you based on I don't think that the whoever's in there, just my opinion, I don't think they're running it right. There's been masses of mistakes made, and anybody that says there aren't on the football on the pitch and up of the ground. Remember this: Dave King was in charge when we appointed Pedro Cachina.
I know he was, and I also was led to believe that he wasn't happy that the people that made that process employed him. You know what I mean? So we keep, the swings and roundabouts for every question. What I'm worried about is, look, it's great. Ibrox needed sorting out. I get that. There's places falling down and bits and that, right? Mm-hmm. But you get it right on the pack first. We always seem to be bothered about the cosmetics of the place, how it looks, and the Sky Lounge rooms and, Edmondson House. The main thing is getting it right on the pack. You get it right on the pack, and the rest will follow. But we've done it all last ways round, in my opinion. I'm just generally worried as to where we are, where I think we could end up.
And they playing devil's advocate. They'll bring Bridge in here. You've got your turnover up because what they've done to world football, mate, with this financial fair play. Bridgeman, then you come, mate, and then GB.
Yeah, it's quite worrying actually. What's happened with world football? It sounds as if they're trying to do something. So actually, at the present moment, it's hitting the bigger clubs like Manchester City and a few other big clubs in Europe. So it's a dodgy situation, financial fair play. I just want Rangers. If we're going to go forward, we need to get more money in, and that's as simple as that. And everybody can see it. We need to get more money in. How we get the money in, I don't know. Can we split the money? I've said this last week there. Can we split the money and say we'll keep whatever's into the club, the new through the fans and through the gate and all the rest of it? Can that be kept for the team building, and the rest be taken from shareholders or whatever share issues to gather money and cover the infrastructure? So you keep the infrastructure separate from the players. Because we need playing staff, don't we? We really need playing staff. And we need to be able to buy decent players. And until such times as we can win the Scottish Premiership, we're not going to get anything. We really won't get very much. We need to win the Scottish Premiership, and that gets us into the European Championship League. And that's what we need to do.
I agree, and I think a lot of the negativity, Andy, online and with people moaning, for want of better words, came for the hangover because we blew the league last season. GB.
Yeah.
It's been a multitude of things, Ox. Andy, good to hear you, mate, coming on the show. I think that, like I say, there's a multitude of things that's created the negativity, and the press for the other side have been driving negativity as well, when saying that we're only getting back into Ibrox till the January transfer window, and yet we're going to be back in Ibrox this weekend. So, it's not been good. And the board being quiet all this time as well hasn't been good. John Bennett had his interview saying about the update a couple of months back and stuff like that. Unfortunately, the man's had health issues to deal with, but there should be other people on that board that are stepping up to help out. I mean, it can't be on one guy's shoulders. We've got a media team in at Ibrox now. Rangers TV can get out to all the fans, and it doesn't take much just to turn around and say where the strategies coming from, where the strengths coming from. And so far, I've seen a guy like Dave King, at least he's came out and tell us something about how he's feeling about how the board's running the place. And from what he said on TalkSport, it didn't sound good to me.
Andy, back in, and then we'll go to John again.
Yeah, that's the last year. He's obviously, he's got wind of something. He's got a lot of shares there. So listen, they're in the know on that. So he's got wind of something. He's definitely got somebody behind him. He's not coming off his own back there. He's a shrewd man, this guy. Does he sail close to the winds? Of course he does. But as I said, better the devil, you know. He's worried. He said, I never thought when I went away here that I would have to come back in and help the Rangers out. He said that. Joe could throwing soft loans at people. He says we've got to get proper investment in with a long-term strategy. We've got no strategy. We're just throwing money away what we've had. We're bringing in substandard players, in my opinion, players we've never even heard of. Never mind the clubs they play for, we've never heard of. And then we're expecting them to come and make us 15, 20 million in 2 years' time. We ain't got 2 years' time. I get the financial fair play. That kind of baffles me a bit, but I know what the gist of it is. But you see, at the end of the day, if we don't start getting a plan in place where that plan improves year on, year after, we're going back a ways every year, in my opinion. That's what's worrying me. I'm sick and tired of this. All we need to do, right, them play in the same league as us, same country, right? But you know what they do? They put people in the right place that can do the job properly and make money. Our ineptness is on the playing field as well. We've been at 2 or 3 occasions where we could have won that league and we've lost them and we've let them walk into the lion's share of the money. It's incompetence. We had that league in our hands. We had that money where we could have been in the Champions League. It would have been a lot better for us. We'd have been in a better position.
Andy,
what worries me is why won't they let them go in there in the books?
Andy, can you blame the board of directors for that? Because the
No, I can't. No, I can't. No, I blame. Well, I can blame them for a bit for employing the wrong people. You don't know that at the time, but we've been doing this foreign route managers for a long time now, and it's not working. It's not working. Now, I don't know where we go, what manager we get, but what we're doing is not working. We got a manager there. I'm sorry, that guy just confuses me from week to week. He's beginning to annoy me greatly. He talks absolute geek. I don't think all the players are in tandem with him. I generally don't, even the ones he's brought in. I just can't. The whole thing's it's fractured for me, and we've got to come on. After all these years, we're just making the same mistake year on, year after. We're not showing any kind of improvement, and that well, hang on a couple of years, and then you'll see it. Or we won't make these. No, I'm sorry. I can't be doing with stuff like that. That's just right.
Is there ever? And I'll ask you on. I'll go to John first with this. Is there ever any guarantees in sport? You could sign 4 top players. Get your turnover up, splash the cash. The 4 of them run into each other in training and they're sitting in the treatment room for 6 months. There's no guarantees, is there? Never is. It's a game of football. John?
And you're right in what you're saying. Definitely right in what you're saying on that. There isn't any guarantees. But I'm starting to feel a wee bit emotional. My husband never missed a game, right? Even at times when guys that he knew and were going on the bus but couldn't afford, they would like to have went. He said to me, "Would you mind if I take your seat?" He says, "And give the guy the..." I'd say, no, just do it. Come on, I mean, just do it. And he, my husband died of a stage 4 brain tumour, and he's related to Fiona Weir, Davy Weir's wife.
Right. Okay.
And David was just excellent. David got things sorted that the last couple of months, maybe 2.5 months, all the home games at Ibrox, my husband was up in one of the boxes.
Brilliant. He's a gentleman, David.
No side of the call, no. I mean, they did everything for him. I've got photos with him with Richard Goff and Haitley and whatever. That meant everything to William. His name was William. I mean,
I'm not surprised that your husband was called William. Are you, Bridgeman?
He's
Bridgeman's fell off his perch.
It breaks my heart for Rangers as well.
Remember this, John, right? Well, we might be in a state of flux just now, transition, whatever you want to call it. But it will never be the worst thing that's ever happened to our football club.
No, that's right.
No, remember.
Yeah, I think John speaks with the heart, and there's a lot of Rangers fans, ourselves included, speak from the heart. And Andy, of course, came up just some good talk there from the heart. And my heart says I want Rangers to be good, safe, particularly really safe if it's possible. And if it takes Dave King or someone like Dave King to come in and make all that happen, then so be it. For me, let's get it done. There's never any Oxford's right. Never any guarantees at all. So the whole thing could just collapse on us. But we want to be able to try. If there's a possibility we've got some problems coming up over the horizon and somebody sees it and points it out, we should be banding together and get it done. For me, just go and get it done. We don't want to be killing everybody or anybody. We want to make it happen as businessmen and know how to run a business, our businesses. And Dave King is very good at that. So if the board are happy, we bring him in and let's hear what he's got to say about what he wants to speak about.
Cheers, Bridge. We've been joined by Wee Al. Evening, Wee Al. Evening, Al.
Hi everybody, how y'all doing?
All right, mate. How are you?
I'm doing good. Hi Ox, Ger, hi Bridgman, GB, John. I think Dave's there too, right?
Andy.
Oh, Andy. Yeah, Andy.
He's known to his friends, Big Andy. Carry on.
No, it was good to call in because I was just listening there to John. That kind of got me thinking there. That's sorry to hear about your husband there, John. And that was
Thank you.
A sad story.
And,
What's on your mind, Al? What's on your mind about the breaking news tonight?
Yeah, I've just been listening to you guys. I've just been busy, haven't been able to call in, so I thought I'd call in tonight. It's interesting what's happening.
What you mean is you've been busy working?
They've been keeping me busy and they're not allowing me to call out anymore. Make international calls.
Carry on, Al. The floor's yours. What do you make of the Dave King thing that's broke tonight?
Oh, yeah, it's very interesting what's going on at Rangers. Obviously, there's power play going on. I think Dave King has a buyer for the club. And a buyer coming in, and he mentioned on TalkSport investing 50 million. Nobody's going to invest 50 million unless they have the lion's share of the club. And he doesn't have the support of the rest of the board members to make that sale. And he even mentioned in TalkSport, Douglas Park refused the last investment. So he never really mentioned too much of the investment. But I believe somebody who wants to spend 50 million to get the club back on track, they're going to have to invest more than 50 million. It's going to probably be 100 plus, and nobody's going to do that unless they have 51% of the company, right, of the club. So I think he knows, and he wants what's best for Rangers, and he believes this is best for Rangers, not him coming in and changing the club. Somebody else buying the club and moving it forward, because all the board members, they're part-time. They've got other things going on in their life. I guess that's why John Bennett is taking his toll, right? Because he's got other business to run. Most of the board members, some of them live in America, right? So they're Scottish, but they live in America. They've got companies in America, so it's tough. There's nobody there full time looking at the club. That's a major for me.
We need a CEO, Al. We need a CEO. We need somebody to run the club day to day, mate. And somebody is. Bridgman says he needs to be a killer. He needs to be a 6'5" centre half as a CEO.
Absolutely, that's definitely what we need. And we need somebody full time, a CEO, and somebody who's going to come out and address the media. Somebody who's going to inform the fans, and don't be scared to come out and address the media. Let the fans know where we're going, what we're doing. We can take the hits. This is basically we're at ground zero, and before it gets any worse, they have to make some changes on the board. I think in the club, I think with the players, with the manager, as long as he gets the support from the fans, and I think we're going in the right direction there, slashing the wage bill by 10 million. Andy's right, bringing in players we don't know, but we have to do it. We can't buy the Tory Andy Flows anymore. Look what it put us. And so I'm glad that we're not doing that. I'd like to see these rough young guys coming in and making a name for themselves and moving on. I think that's what we have to do, because if you look at all the players we spent millions on through the Murray years, all those players walked out the door for practically zero. Newman, all those players, only a few left for some money, right? So that's what got us in the mess in the first place. So this is the right way to go, and I think we can compete on the park, with the best of them, to be honest. But we just have to get the board fixed, and we have to get full-time guys in there. That's what I believe, yeah.
I think with boardrooms, I think you can have people who have got other business interests. It's no unusual. But I think the point that Bridge made is not bring GB in. We need a CEO. We need somebody who's running the day-to-day, who's dealing with everything at the club. Yeah, I don't claim to be a businessman, GB. I just see it as common sense, yeah.
Aye, Ox. It's the... You could put up with them, like I say, no really taking an interest if you had somebody strong there running the place, Ox. That's the thing. Well, and there's the Commonwealth Games has been announced for 2026, Ox. We need, like I say, strong characters in place so they're grabbing a bit of that pie and all when that comes along, you know what I mean? So we can't just allow them across the city to take what they done the last time when the games were on, to take a big chunk of that and have their place all getting done up and all that. So again, we need strong characters in place.
I think we might still struggle with the Glasgow District Council, GB. We're really popular with them. If you want to look under the Freedom of Information Act and find out how much business they get, there's 3 stadiums in Glasgow. If you want to see how it's divided up, have a look, mate. It will really interest you. Take the time and do
it. I would imagine, like I say, it's just at the top of my head for what happened the last time. I know where the answers would lie, and it's just that's again.
And also, if you were a team of scruples and morals who had a political views, would you want to host the Commonwealth Games if that was your morals and your politics? Yeah, they'll take money after anybody. Yeah.
Oh, I know. No, I know. I'm just saying, like, we need people who are forward thinking. We need to find, like I says, people that have got new ideas to bring to the club. Ox, it's a big world out there now. There's plenty of money out there that is getting chucked at dross. I mean, there's Hearts getting linked with a guy for Brighton. They want to invest 10 million. I mean, investing 10 million at Hearts. I mean, why? But the guy's willing to do it. I mean, so there's got to be people out there that is behind Dave King, or Dave King knows of, that he can get in contact with, that knows the size of Rangers and knows the potential that's there, Ox. I mean, we've not even scratched the surface of us in the Champions League and all the rest of it. I mean, you look at some of the teams in Germany, how when they got invested with the likes of Red Bull and all that, how they progressed over the years. Really, it's time for us to get some fresh ideas on there and progress.
Red Bull in Germany.
No, but they've been to quarterfinals and semis, Oxy, Champions Leagues and stuff like that. And I would like to see us back to that kind of level one day. You know what I mean? And that's all came from, like you say, people investing in lower teams that are probably not even getting a sniffy titles. Whereas they invest their money into Rangers, you're going to get titles. You're going to have cups. You're going to have good periods in Europe. Most years. I mean, one thing, if you're going to invest there, you've got to turn around and say we're going to be in Europe most seasons. Probably you could guarantee them every season.
We'll be in Europe, mate. If you look from 72 to 93, mate, we didn't compete much apart from maybe one quarter final. Andy, in you come, mate.
Yeah, I think it's what you guys and John's saying right enough at the end. It's about getting the right people in that can do the job properly. And if you can there's no guarantees that anything's going to come good, is there? Things can drop on you at any given time. But if we could just get people in that get the right, see for me, I think most Rangers have got out there, right? Whoever's in charge, just come out and be honest with us. We'll go along with it. Well, we like it if they're going to say, well, we've got to wait too. No, but we'll go along with it. And we can see a plan at the end of it. There's no plan there. It's just muck-up after muck-up all the time, as I'm seeing at the moment. We don't go forward, and it's frightening me. It's making me poorly. You know what I mean? And it's a bit about you know.
Give me a list of these muck-ups, Andy.
Give me a list? Well, 3 trophies out of how many? That's bad enough, right? The things that we did not getting Ibrox open on time, bringing in dud managers and paying them off. There's a million and one. If I sat down, I could get them, and you could get them, Ox. But I'll just say it this way, right? What's happening at our club and what we're achieving as a football team is gash. It's not anything that we're expected from Glasgow Rangers. Now, I know we lived the first 9 in a row. I know we've had bad times and all that. But there's no strategy here at all with this club. I'll not bend on that whether you agree with me or no. There's something drastically wrong. There's nothing positive about our club at all at this moment in time. We don't look like we're going anywhere fast. That's just my take on it.
Do you think that hangovers came from March, mate? I've said this before on the show.
Well, yeah, because we had that League One. Oh, well, there's no guarantees, but it was in our hands. A good Rangers team in the past wouldn't have blew that, would they? You know what I mean? But we did. Now, yeah, people are not, and then what we're seeing here is not very good at the start. We didn't even get past the first qualifying round of the Champions League. We couldn't even get the 5 million for the first game. So it's a knock-on effect. All the money we've lost, all the money we've paid to the Scottish FA and all that, that's all money that we've not got. That's going to harm us. And that's what King's saying. He's saying there, right in my right here. There's no money going here. Where's it coming from? Season tickets are sold. Bit of hospitality when we get back at Ibrox, and probably a 4 shirt that doesn't look anything like a Rangers shirt that they'll ask you. That kind of money, we need far, far more than that to take Rangers forward. And that's my worry. That's my worry, honestly.
I'll give you the steel. I'll give you the steel bit, yeah. But the steel never turned up, yeah. Yeah, the project went wrong. Listen, somebody made a mistake and they paid for it, yeah. Obviously, the board are ultimately culpable, but it's maybe the mistake they've been made is they've been too supportive of the managers, Andy.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, in the first place, I wouldn't have touched them managers. Well, not the last 2 anyway. I don't fancy him. I thought he'd be okay the first 3 or 4 games, and then I think he just lies week after week. That I think he actually believes half of the stuff he's saying himself, which he's just making him sound look foolish. The car salesman was an absolute joke. Gio, you could possibly at the state of it, we might have gone a bit further. being too loyal to him.
No, I never said too loyal, Andy. I said supporting them too much.
Oh, supporting them.
Because you've got to be ruthless, haven't you? And detach yourself from the football decisions and make calculated business decisions. I go back to Gerrard. We should have sold Beale, maybe we should have, Morelos and Kent at the high value. That's the time to do it. Yeah?
Yeah, that's a no-brainer, that.
Aye. And then we last summer, the money we gave Beale to spend. Yeah? No, whether this summer's transfers a workout, the jury's out, Bridgeman, innit?
Yeah. It's look, how can I say this? Andy's again. They're talking a lot of sense. Rangers and Mr. Clement, he has got to show face now. But we have to get the board thing. This board thing is going to hang over the whole club. We have to get that resolved and allow it to be resolved.
Maybe, Bridge, you've done it. I wondered. Maybe that's what's been annoying Dessers. Maybe that's what's put him He's worrying about who the chairman is. I never thought
all I'm meaning is that at the present moment, there isn't anybody that's running the club, right? There's nobody running the club. It's all falling on what I see. So forgive me if you think it's different. I see the manager as the go-to man.
He's getting battered, isn't he?
Absolutely, he's getting it all. We need, whatever we do at board level there, however it comes in, we need desperately to get it sorted and take the weight off the manager, and all the decisions and discussions have got to be done through the CEO. No matter what happens, it's the CEO's job. He's got to do it, and the manager must go on and do his job. And he's getting involved at different levels, and it's bamboozling everybody.
Yeah. We've been joined by Bob. Just popped in.
Good evening, lads. How you doing?
All right, mate.
All right, aye. I think that Philip Clement is managing Rangers with both hands tied behind his back due to the situation we're on at the moment. And it's a time to get behind the manager, because I believe he's a good man and he's doing his best for the club. I'll get behind any Rangers manager, but I like Philip Clement, and I believe if he was getting the backing, the financial, everything that we want for the club, that's been its downfall in recent times. If we can get that all correct and get back at an even keel again, get the club back to where it is, I would say Clement's a man, because I think he's a good man, a good manager.
Don't know when you'll get that time as well results, Andy.
Yeah, look, he might well be, but not in my eyes. Even the players he's got there, he's just not playing in positions, in the right positions. His tactics are baffling. One up top, don't agree with that, and two in the midfield, or even when teams make a jig on him and change the formation, he can't seem to work it out or go man for man. That's just my take on that. Listen, every Rangers manager there, I want to succeed, because if they don't, that means we're struggling, and that's the position we're in now. That breaks all we're at. There's no doubt about that. But he don't show no positivity to me. I don't think he can set a team up properly. But who am I? I'm just Andy that follows the Rangers and makes an opinion. Some of the stuff he comes out with is absolutely baffling, I know. I mean, if you're not going to say anything profitable, don't say anything at all. He just talks absolute geek at times for me. And that is what annoys me, and I'm pretty sure annoys a lot of Rangers fans out there as well. That's just how I see it. I want him to succeed. I want him. I don't know. So the way he lines teams up and all that, I'd be a bit shocked if he had a bit of money, because I wouldn't trust him with it. But like I say, I'm jumped early. He has got his hands tied better, no doubt about that. I think he was lied to like previous managers. I don't know what the board done at the time when they've employed these, but they've sold him a golden egg there, because they've come in and took the job, and then they've been shafted, every one of them. So that's what they've got to get right at the board as well, and right investment and all that. And then maybe if we get better players or that can adapt to Scottish football. A lot of our players are too lightweight, injuries and all that. We need to get some kind of brawn in there, and some hunk that's going to get stuck in. And the amount of 50-50s that Rangers pull out these days is alarming, and that's more or less in every game. We've got to get some toughness about the team. Maybe we could go forward that way. But I don't know. I hope it comes right for him. I hope whatever happens with this board struggle or what's going to come up, one thing that I will say is we need to get that sorted. We need to get that sorted quick. I think we've been through enough since 2012. I just want to see a bit of happiness. Rangers fans have been happy, talking about, well, that was a great performance, or what a player this is. And, you know, but when have we done that? We've not done that for years, other than 55. That's shocking. That's a lot of years. Well, on the European run, yeah.
You've got to put it in context. And in 2012, when that happened, and I'd have said to you, we'd have been in a European final 10 years later, you'd have thought it was nuts.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I think at some stages where people were thinking we wouldn't survive. I never thought that had happened because my fan base is too big, but I didn't think it would take us this long to be, you know, I didn't think we'd got this long not winning, you know, trophies. I thought we'd have took some along the way, and we have had chances and we blew it, haven't we?
We blew the Celtic Cup final, the Aberdeen semi-final, the Hibs final, we should have won the treble with the year we won 55, mate. That's what it comes down to, Ox, isn't it, really? See, when you get down to it, when them big games have come along, we have players that bottle it, they've got a yellow streak down the back and can't get the job done. Whereas in the past we've had Rangers players, when we think we're not getting it, and come out and done it. Now, I know we've had barren years and you've come up with that, but we had a lot of great years. If we hadn't done... Many trophies did John Greng won between 66 and 75?
Not a lot. He carried us on his back till he broke the 10. I know that, but he won quite a few before it. So it's you know, you can go at any stage on that, can't you? Listen, they were players you knew that wouldn't shit it when we walked over the white line against them. That's all I'll say on that. So we can go on about trophies and no. I mean, at the end of the day, we wouldn't have been the most successful club that we've been up until it looks like we're about to lose that if we didn't have bars for a fight, would we?
Right, okay. No, remember, somebody count certain titles. You know, they don't do irony that mob. Anyway, last word for your good self, Bob, yeah. Because they don't. Anyway, last word for your good self, Bob, yeah.
Well, with a few things that will go. If I'm as frustrated as you, Andy, I want to see Rangers at the pinnacle of tournaments a lot more regularly than they've been of late. But 2012 was the ultimate for the club. It was going to take a long time for it to recover. Yeah, we won the league, but we thought we were back in the crest of the wave again, and it's not materialised. We're back down the other side of the mountain, but we're just able to fight, kick and battle for each other as supporters, as board members, as players. It's all got to be together, pull together for the Rangers. As Bridgman says, remember, the Rangers need us. So thanks for having me on the night anyway, boys. Sorry I never phoned in a wee bit earlier.
No, sorry we never get back to you. Yeah, sorry.
That's okay, bud. No bother. You do all right with me. More than all right with me. And I appreciate it, I can assure you.
Cheers, Bob.
By the way, the Champions League tournament 2024-25 is now null and void. It's now become a waste of time. Right. Okay, good night, everyone.
Cheers, mate. Cheers, mate. I don't know what you're talking about. I must have missed something that broke. John, who stole the show tonight, and we don't want to open. I don't mean because you try to get Bridges million off him. Thanks for letting us into your insight, and thanks for that.
Aye. It's just when you're that passionate about your club, it just hurts. You know what I mean?
I get it.
And it hurts me double, if you like. It really does.
Listen, we all get frustrated, annoyed, angry, upset. You know, it's a big constant in my life. You know, even Andy, there's one or two players he's liked in Rangers history. Even Andy. Thanks, John. Thanks for the call. Yeah.
God bless the Rangers. Honest to God. God bless them.
Here's your final words, mate. Good that you've took the time during your working day to phone us. The only professional caller we've got.
No, it was good. Thanks for having me on. It was good to call in and talk to you guys again. And I'm just hoping these players can gel together and give us some good performances. Because I never mentioned they've had time, but what Fox talked about last week, we Because if you think about it technically, he brought in 11 players, and they're all in different positions. So he's right. They could put them all in all in one team out there, and hopefully we can gel together, because we can't go changing manager, changing the players, especially when you're bringing 11. So I just hope and pray that we can get it together and do it good in the park, and then that'll take away what's going on with the board. But nice talking again. Take care, guys.
Cheers, Al. Speak to you soon, mate. Andy?
Aye, thanks for letting me get my piece off. What I would like to say is, come on, guys, we've got a good show here. Let's get some more calls in like it used to be and grow the show again. I, for one, would definitely miss it, guys. So that's just me being giving you a little bit of what I think about the show. So
Cheers,
I hope it does grow again. Catch you later.
Cheers, mate. Have I missed anybody? GB, haven't they? I've had GB and Bridge. Yeah, that's right. Over to yourself, GB. Well, we never thought that was going to happen tonight. I don't even think we were team finished, did we?
No, we didn't, mate. And I'm sure that subject and the board subjects will continue, mate. But it was a great debate, and good opinions. And let's just hope that Dave King and hopefully what we've seen with Graham Souness highlighting that the ship had sailed with him and all. There's things to be sorted at Rangers.
Bridgeman.
Oh, Oxford, it's been a fantastic night. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. GB, thank you very much for carrying me through it. And the techie boys in the background there have done us proud. But can I just say this? And this is my club, and I don't like any other club. I don't like any other club, no, I mean anything else. This is my club, and I think we need to do two things. One, we need to get back on our feet from a board perspective, and two, the board stop talking to the press and the media. Stop it. Don't talk to them anymore. We've got a boardroom. Go and discuss these things yourself and come out and make an announcement through the Rangers TV or other Rangers, even Rangers Radio. Yeah. Anybody else other than the Scottish press. No, but you know what I mean. We don't want to be going and talking to the media, because at that ends suspicion. That's what happens with it. You end up with suspicion. We need to come out, be ourselves, stand up, make your announcement, and let them pick it up. Whoever it is that wants to pick it up, let them pick it up. But don't allow them to put any words in your mouth. You two to come out, put your words down in the paper and get them off. Here you are, this is what we're saying, and don't ask questions about it. Cheerio. And that's going to have to happen for probably a couple of months before all of that board thing gets itself resolved and they have an EGM. I hope it happens. I hope it happens very quickly.
Tuesday.
Oh, I know, so have I. And can I just say, to all the Rangers fans all over the world that are listening in here tonight, please remember this. It's our club. Nobody else can take it off us. Keep it going for the Rangers. Everybody, keep it going for the Rangers.
Remember, Bridge, he ain't Jeffy. He's our brother. Right. Can I thank Joan for joining us, Bob, Andy,
thank you.
Leeds, Alfie, all the way from Canada. Thanks to Bridge and GB for doing the show. Of course, Fox and all school board in the background, looking after the technicals, who fed that stuff as it broke instantly. So we're on air and stories break. We'll be talking about them. Thanks for listening. Rangers Radio will be back tomorrow night between 8 and 10, talking about all things Rangers. And don't worry, we'll get the 50 million between us, because Southside Super 6 is back. Take it away, old school boy.